Herzlich willkommen zurück zu Tranergy TV. Immer noch on location in Mannheim beim Sunshine Live 90er Party und wieder in einer Kabine hier unten in den Katakomben von der Maimarkthalle und an meiner Seite, ja, wieder eine Legende von den 90er Jahren, vom Dancefloor-Bereich, the one and only Captain Hollywood.
Hey, what's up, guys? Thank you guys for supporting the 90s music, still even in 2014. Peace.
Yeah, Tony, we've been talking a little online. Finally, I'm so happy we finally got this interview under the wraps, getting it done here.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys taking the time to come here to do it. We're only going to be here in Germany for about 2 days, and then we head back. So it's nice we was able to make this work.
You performed last year here also, but in the smaller venue.
Absolutely.
How's the atmosphere today for you here?
It's crazy. It is absolutely crazy. The people are amazing. Mannheim is a wonderful city anyway. The people are so generous, and the people really understand the 90s. We have a lot of 90s music lovers and passionate people from the 90s. The energy is unbelievable here.
How much work goes into preparation for a gig like this? When you're home in Florida, when you guys are working together, your band, I mean, how much preparation do you go into?
Quite a lot. We like to do a lot of entertaining. We don't like to just get on stage and perform the old songs in the old way. We like to give the people as much entertainment as we can. We think if they paid money to buy tickets and they still support us, they deserve to have as much work and as much creative input into the show as possible. We really want to entertain them. So we need. Normally, we're preparing this show for a big tour in America, so we wanted to do it here in Germany first, since this was my home. You know, I don't live here anymore, but this is still my home in my heart.
What do you miss most from Germany, the women or the food?
Well, my wife is German, so I had to take her with me. You know, I love the food very much. I miss just the whole atmosphere. For one thing, I miss, hearing the language a lot. You know, ich liebe immer noch the deutsche Sprache, and I miss, of course, the Autobahn, and I miss the Four Seasons. I mean, living in Florida and Miami is beautiful, but we don't have the beautiful Four Seasons like we have here, So, and I had the chance to stay a little bit in Trier, up in the mountain area. Beautiful. So I miss the culture, the old architecture here. There's a lot of things that I miss about this beautiful country.
You said Trier, Germany?
That's the last place that I was able to stay at for a few months when we was preparing for a tour, and I loved being there up in the mountain, Trier, Germany, yes.
Did you see that place where you can have a nice view over the city? It's up on a hill, I think.
I saw a few places in Zweig. I saw a few places in those areas up in the mountains where the wine fields were and everything. Beautiful. Lörsnich. A few other places. I don't remember all the names, but we got a chance to see quite a lot of nice areas there.
Tony, what's it like coming back to a gig like this? I mean, obviously you're not living in Europe anymore, you're living in the States. When you see old friends, especially a guy like Hadaway, who told us that you guys have been friends for 24 years now.
Yes, he's one of my great friends, man. It's so wonderful to work out. We still see each other when we're on the road a lot. Sometimes if I'm performing in Romania, he might be performing at the same place. But for this gig, I actually flew him in myself. For this gig, I wanted him to be a part of my show, and he was very honored. He said, "Yeah, man, let's do it." So it was a wonderful feeling, and I'm happy he accepted that.
We know why you got the name the Captain, because back in the day you always had the uniform on. But why did you put on the Hollywood at the end?
It wasn't me that did it. My friend said one day, back then I was 19 years old when I was in the military. And my friend said, one day you're going to be in Hollywood because you're always dancing, man. No matter what we see, you're always dancing. So they gave me the name, And I said, listen, my name is Harrison. I'm not Hollywood. Yeah, but one day you're going to make it to Hollywood. I said, yeah, well, whatever. And they wouldn't call me by my normal name. They would call me by that. And I said, yeah, okay. Then it just stuck with me,
You won your first breakdance contest in 1983, I believe, if I read that correctly.
Yes.
What fascinated you with this breakdance song that I'm going to name now? I liked it very much. From 1984, Breakin', from Ollie and Jerry. I love that song.
Man, I mean, come on. The beats on that, the old school beats, with that, it just, when you heard it, when it started, it just made you want to move. You know what I mean? It just made you want to you couldn't sit still, you know, and especially not as a breaker back then, you know. So, oh man, that was a wonderful song, man. It was just something that went into my blood and made me want to dance, you know. Whenever the DJs played that, we all danced. All the breakers and break dancers, we always danced together.
So when you came to Germany, I mean, it was kind of programmed that, you know, music would be in your life then, the way it went with Captain Hollywood.
Yes, well, I had no idea. I was just a young guy. I wanted to dance and I wanted to do music, you know. And Andreas Thiesmeyer, he discovered me in a discotheque and he put me on the show Formel 1, and that was the beginning of my career. 1983, Captain Hollywood was born, you know.
I have to ask you this. Please correct me if you're wrong. You have to know this. People keep saying the first dance floor act with raps and beats was Snap. But if I recall correctly, you were in 24/7.
Thank you.
Why don't people know that? Because I think you guys made tracks in '87 already.
Thank you.
Please explain this.
Thank you very much. The thing is, the German media did not give me a lot of respect. Snap is owned by German producers. Okay, Captain Hollywood is owned by Captain Hollywood. So back in those days, I did not get a lot of support from the German media. I got a lot of support from the German audience. The German Publikum supported Captain Hollywood.
When do you mean that? When the support? When exactly?
I'm talking about like in 86, 87, those days, you know. So when I had my success, the media was not behind me, but the German DJs was with me. The German audience was supporting me. So my records became big hits, but I didn't have a lot of support from the media. So that's why a lot of people didn't know that. 24/7 was a very famous group in England, very famous group in Germany as well, but we were more famous in England than here, and we toured all over Europe. MTV Europe was one of our supporters. We did a 3-month tour with MTV. MTV back then made us famous. And so this is before Snap, before any of that, you know what I mean? You know?
That's why I'm bringing it up.
Yes, thank you so much. That's why everyone, all the artists, the artists from the Eurodance, including the Snap people, Turbo B, they gave me the name, the pioneer of the 90s. Because Snap started off doing hip hop, if you remember. You know, I Got the Power. They was not doing Eurodance. You know what I mean? They went to Eurodance later. Snap is a wonderful group, and I love all of. I know Penny very well, wonderful person. Turbo B, that's my boy. He lives in Orlando, Florida. So, you know, I mean, wonderful people. But everybody, all the artists and all the real Eurodance people know that 87, 88, 89, Captain Hollywood was already there. You know, I mean, with that type of music. And the radio wouldn't play that music because it was a brand new music. They didn't know welche genre, which category is. What is this? This guy Sprechgesang on techno beats or house beats, dance house? Nah, we can't play that.
And obviously the Power broke the ice.
Exactly, and that was different. The Power was more hip hop. That wasn't Eurodance. It was more still with the hip hop. I got the power. More hip hop, and then Rhythm of the Dancer. That was Eurodance. You know what I mean? But we already had big hits with 24/7. You know, so.
Tony, I have to ask you about your first hit as Captain Hollywood more and more. When you heard that for the first time, did you know that was going to be a world hit?
No, I had no idea. I had just, after I was working with 24/7, and I said, listen, I really need to do something that's something that I just feel, something that I feel. I might not get no support from the radios, but I just need to do this. So our group 24/7 was very successful, and I said, well, I'm in it for the success, but I really want to be able to fulfill my own heart too. So I went my own direction and did more and more, and I didn't know what was going to happen. I just did it. And I did not get support from the radio stations. I did not have a major record company behind me. I had a small label, and the DJs and the audience, they pushed this record. They made that record a hit. It was #1 in its single sales charts in America. Now, when you're #1 in the Billboard sales charts in America, that means you're selling a lot of records. Over Janet Jackson, I have the original chart position at home. Over Janet Jackson, That's the Way Love Goes.
That was a great song.
Yes, but the German media never talked about that. They always said, Wikipedia said, he had a few hits, but that was it. They didn't talk about my success in China, my success in Moscow, or especially my success in America, you know. So, I mean, on the 13th of December this year, we have another concert in Montreal, Canada already. And for 2015, we're preparing a 20-city tour in America with our 90s tour, you know. So we enjoyed good success back then. And Germany supported us, the people and the DJs. So I'm very proud to have that type of support behind me.
Congrats on that, Tony. What made More and More so special?
I think it was the right time. It was a new music. It was the feeling of it. And it was, you know, it was not an aggressive a dance song, but it was something new, something special in that time. A lot of people that type of music did not exist. And so there's a lot of people say, oh, that's another one of those Euro records. I like that. That's that new stuff. Today, it's old, but it was the beginning, before Culture Beat, before any of them, before DJ Bobo. DJ Bobo, one of my business partners, a great friend, but before anybody. After the record companies did not even support that stuff. After they saw the sales, that's when every record label, every producer said, oh, we have to do like Captain Hollywood. If you notice, almost every group, there was a black guy and a German girl singing. Not everybody, but that was the concept. Because the record companies thought, oh, those type of sales, they're making sales like that, 7 million records. I mean, we have to do something. You know what I mean? So that was a big deal back then.
I'm gonna say one name, Nosy Katzman.
Very good friend.
He is the top songwriter of the 90s.
Yes.
He wrote more and more. What experience did you have with Nosy Katzman?
Nosy Katzman became the hit writer after working with me. Before, more and more, nobody knew who Nosy Katzman was. And I put him together with my team that I hired back then, production team called DMP. They were techno DJs and techno producers. They didn't never make big records. They did underground stuff. And I hired them and worked with them. And I know Nosy was a great songwriter, but he didn't have any hits. So we put them together. I put them together, and at first they hated each other, and they worked together. I did production with them as well, and afterwards, after guiding the whole production, that's how this good stuff came out. After the hits, More and More, Only With You, and All I Want, and then of course everybody said we need that sound. That's why everybody went to Nosy Katzman, and he became later on the hit songwriter. And he's a great guy, and he has great tunes, absolutely. So he's a great friend of mine as well.
How much fun do you have performing Flying High?
Oh my God, I love that. I love that, man, most definitely. When I perform Flying High, man, I forget that I'm in 2014. I feel that I'm like in 1993, 1994 again. It's wonderful for you, and I'm happy that the audience are still responding the way they are.
Tony, a great producer of the 90s that you also know from the music, Jam Almar, Jam and Spoon, BG, the Prince of Rap,
yes.
All these great groups that he did. He said in an interview, yeah, I mean, the 90s was great. I just thought, it would just keep going on and on, but it ended sometime. When you were having hit after hit, did you just think it was going to go on forever, or did you know sooner or later style may change and, this whole dance floor gig may be coming to an end?
Well, honestly, I didn't really pay attention. We didn't know it was even going to start. So we did not plan. We didn't say, oh, this is going to be a hit and we're going to do this. We were shocked. Oh, wow, this thing is a hit. What is that? And it took off, and then records kept working. When the German media started saying we're going to stop playing Eurodance, and then of course it was like, wow, that's kind of sad. Other countries started still supporting us. But for a while, Eurodance died down because Germany would not continue to support it, So we thought, okay, no problem. Myself, as a producer, I started working with other bands. I produced the band O-Town. We did the very first reality TV show, Making the Band.
What was your memories? I wanted to ask you about that later.
Yes, my memories on that? Well, I was at the very beginning. I was one of the main producers of the band, and I helped to develop the band, choreography, the show, and everything. So they sold a little bit over 3 million records in America. And so I was behind projects like that, of quite a few other bands that I was producing in America. So, I went to another field. I still do that today, but I went to a whole nother field of stuff. And in fact, DJ Bobo asked me to come and choreograph some of his shows as well. 2010, me and my wife, Shireen, we did the whole production and the whole choreography together with DJ Bobo for his 2010 fantasy show. So we was doing a lot of stuff like that in the background. But of course, then with Eurodance, that's something that just slowly started happening. And I did not want to go back on tour. That was not my plan. 2010, DJ Bobo and my wife was telling me, come on, man, there's a lot of people still want to hear this stuff. Come on, why don't you go on tour with us? I said, nah, I don't want to do a tour. Nah, so many cities, I don't know. He said, come on, man, like back in the old days. So DJ Bobo was the one that really got me back on stage. After we did the tour with him, the request was so strong from all over the world when they heard Captain Hollywood is performing again. And I said, wow, I had no idea that the people were so much passionate behind it still today. And since 2010, we've been back on the road. I mean, we don't perform everywhere. We're very choosy where we perform at. We want to perform at places where we can actually give them our show. You know, we're not doing it just for the money. You know what I mean? I'm very well. We had enough hits. I have enough other bands I've produced, and you know, that's not my thing. But I do want to enjoy myself when I'm on stage. I want to go back to the '90s and enjoy the show myself. So it's fun. It's fun.
We can see that you really live it. You really live your stage show. It's a great show.
Thank you.
Between you and me, probably I think the best from all the '90s acts. No disrespect to the others; they're all great acts. But we heard a really interesting story from Hathaway about his most crazy experience in the '90s about a stalker. I'm sure you have one also.
Well, not so much. Hathaway is a little different. Hathaway is a great looking person, so he attracted a lot of nice females, nice ladies. You know what I mean? I was never into, you know, the pretty boy thing. I'm more of just a crazy artist, you know. So my audience is more, you know, the guys. Let's go with power, you know. Let's you know. So I never had that problem. My fans were just guys who wanted to come up and hang out and, yo, let's do cool stuff together, or, you know, but I don't have, some females are said, oh, nice, but I'm not that, you know, that pretty guy, and it's not my thing, you know. It's nice, and I respect it, but I'm an artist. I just want to do my thing, you know what I mean? I don't, you know, I'm not so much into that thing, you know what I mean?
You did a cover of Axel F.
Yes.
Back in the day, in 2003, I believe it was. Could you see yourself being a new type of Axel Foley?
Oh man, that was my favorite movie, man.
I loved it.
Me too, man. Eddie Murphy was my boy. I was such a big fan of that, and of course, I would love to pretend to be Eddie Murphy. I know the whole movie. I used to look at the movie over and over. So that was one of the reasons I covered that song, because I thought, oh man, that's back in the days. I mean, I used to act like, you know, I used to know the movie inside and out. You know, I knew every word he would say. So that was one of the reasons I had to cover that song. It meant so much to me, you know. And in fact, Harold Faltermeyer, a German producer.
Better believe it.
Yes, he brought that quality over, and it was huge in America. So the German producers over here got a lot of great musical talent over here. So I really loved it.
Okay, Tony, last question. If I order into this room right now some great rappers, like Ray from 2 Unlimited, Jay Supreme from Culture Beat, or your boy Turbo B, who wins a rap contest between you four? Ray from 2 Unlimited, Jay Supreme, Culture B, Turbo B, or the Captain?
Honestly, Turbo B will kill all of us. Turbo B is my man. And when it comes to rap, he will kill all of us. I'm not so much of a rapper. I'm more of a message person. You know, I try to give a message across, and I'm an entertainer. Turbo B, he is a rapper. My brother got skills. Turbo B is no joke. So he will kill us easily. No doubt.
Maybe you'd like to give one last word to your German fans?
To alle meine deutsche Leute, man, wer Eurodance so lange unterstützt. Ich möchte mich bedanken, mich und Shireen Amor möchte mich bedanken, dass ihr so viele Jahre uns unterstützt habt und dass wir in 2014 immer noch unsere alten Lieder vorspielen können. Ich bedanke mich sehr, man. Dankeschön für eure Unterstützung und wir sehen uns irgendwann bei das nächste Konzert. Peace.